What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Odd Squad Originals. Today, it's me, Perkins. I'm coming at you with a video. I'm going to show you what games I played this year and how I feel about them. It's my top 5 games this year. Some of them came out, some of them are older, some of them are just games I'll always go back to. But yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so coming up at number 5 on my list this year it's got to be Gunfire Reborn. It's a great roguelike dungeon crawler game that's great to just hop on and play with your friends. It's a game that came out quite a while ago, but I feel like my buddies and I are always jumping back on it. So it's definitely got to have a place on this list because it's something we play time and time again, no matter what we're doing. If we're looking for something to hop in 3-4 players, it's usually going to be Gunfire Reborn. It's got a whole lot of replayability, a lot of great weapons and characters, and endless possibilities of scrolls and whatever else you can really think of from a roguelike. They continue to get updates, adding new characters and all of the great things that make a roguelike a roguelike. So if you haven't tried this game, I definitely recommend it. But yeah, we're sticking number 5 for Gunfire Reborn. Alright, so coming in at number 4, we have another roguelike dungeon crawler. This one I'm sure you've all heard of. This is The Binding of Isaac. The Binding of Isaac has since come out with a co-op update that Combo Smooth and I have been playing quite frequently, and it's a game that I have been playing since it came out, since Rebirth came out. I never played Flash, but I was always a big fan of Rebirth and remember watching a whole bunch of different YouTubers play it that got me into it. So it's definitely something I've been playing for a long time, and I'm glad they continue to update and keep adding awesome changes to it. I definitely also obviously will recommend this game. It's just such a cult classic, and there's so many different possibilities, so many different fun builds you can have, and it's just overall a very good game. And now, shooting into number 3 here is something in a totally different category. It is a semi-sim game. It's a little bit grindy, but it also has a lot of, I guess you could say, roguelike features if you really wanted to. It's going to be Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is such a great game. You can play it all year round. There's so many different things you can do. I feel like every time I play, I'm learning something new. Especially this year, I picked it up with mods. First time ever using mods on Stardew Valley. It made it a lot of fun. I played that with a herd of turds. We had an absolute ball doing that. That was his first time ever playing Stardew Valley. Actually, was with me this year. Used a whole bunch of different fun mods that made everything a bit easier, but also a bit more difficult for people like me who kind of knew what I was doing. But overall, an amazing game. Will continue to be fun over the years, and definitely going to be in a solid 3 for me this year. You right there. Yeah, you. I see you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm watching you. Alright, so for number 2, funny enough, is actually a Square Enix game that also has a 2 in it. Now, I guess we could consider the whole franchise as being my number 2, because I did play 1 through 3 this year because they got released on Steam. And if you don't know what I'm talking about by now, it's Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts has been a classic game from my childhood. I remember playing it on the PlayStation 2 and not being able to beat certain bosses multiple times. And I mean, I was like maybe 6 or 7 years old playing this game, so it definitely was weird picking it up as an adult now and being able to complete a lot of the things I remember struggling as a kid. But it was a really fun pickup, and it's definitely solidified itself into my top 5 this year for new games that have came out. I'm definitely glad I replayed everything. It was a really great time. And definitely is as good as I remember it. So definitely number 2 is going to be the Kingdom Hearts franchise. Alright. Okay. So for number 1 this year, I've put countless hours into this game already. I've only been playing it for a few months, but it has been overwhelmingly addictive, especially with the new mode that just came out. Their Leagues mode. It's old school RuneScape. This game is just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I get the satisfaction of playing a full game while I am also able to leave and go and do other things. I mean, that's definitely been a big reason why I've put so many hours into it, is just because it's something I can turn on, do something semi AFK while I'm doing other stuff, whether it's graphic design or editing down videos. It definitely makes the grind of RuneScape feel a little bit less grindy, even though I have definitely put way too many hours into that game already. But yeah, definitely old school RuneScape is going to be my #1 this year, just because of the absolute ridiculous amount of hours I've put into it. And I definitely recommend, if you haven't checked out their new Leagues mode, that's what I've been playing with my friends recently. So much fun, super quick XP, so you're not worried about getting into this huge grind that you're going to have to worry about for years. You can kind of experience whatever content you want to experience pretty quickly. Like, you can be doing endgame stuff in like maybe a week. So it's a lot of fun, and definitely going to be my #1 for this year. But yeah, so that is going to be my top 5 games that I've played this year. I know there's not a bunch of like AAA games on there or anything along those lines. I didn't play Black Myth Wukong. I watched a whole bunch of that. I played some of the Elden Ring DLC, but I never finished it, so I felt like it wasn't fair to put it on this list. And I really wasn't in the loop with AAA games. I was playing a lot of smaller indie games. RuneScape consumed much of my life as well. And it's a lot of like the multiplayer games that we kind of get dragged into, just because we're a group of 5 or 6 most of the time. So we ended up doing like Liar's Bar and what's the other one? Trash Collector. I can't think of the name right now that I'm going to remember here in a second. And games similar to that, Lethal Company. Lethal Company is what I was thinking of. But games like that, along with Gunfire Reborn and Isaac, and anything that's super easily compatible to be multiplayer, is the game we picked up. I didn't get to play a whole bunch of the solo AAA games, and we aren't really like a big COD group. We were really big into Valorant, but that kind of fell off because Valorant kind of fell off. Played a bit of the MOBA that came out from Valve. We were on that for maybe like a month. So there was a lot of games that I did play that were really good games, but I just didn't feel like I played enough to really solidify a place in my top 5. But this is my list. I'm sure I'm gonna put it on the screen here for you guys to see it all again. But yeah, this has been Perkins, and thank you so much. Peace.
Gotta go tonight. You know I'm just thinking to the point I cannot really just sleep. Staying up tweaking, been fighting these demons for so long. You know I'm just facing defeat, and it's all on me. Get to the bed, that's all I need. I'm trying to talk, I'm not trying to preach. Staying true till RIP, but you know